Well, recording?
Yeah.
Alright, hold on.
1, 2, 3.
Good night, greetings everybody. We are G-Syndicate, and tonight is vibes as we syndicate you vibes, you know. You're gonna be hearing some songs off our upcoming EP. Think it's gonna be nice. So right about now, we're starting with this one. Ready to blow? So are you ready to go? So are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, ready to blow, ready to blow. Oh, ha, so let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time to start the party. Sometimes we be getting dirty. This time we're starting this thing right. Hey, so just kick off your shoes. It's no time to feel the blues. So baby, we gonna do our thing tonight. Oh, leave the work at home, leave the stress alone. Toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time for you to be free. Let's just enjoy the party tonight. We just gonna ease our mind. So just put them on the wall, cause we're not gonna step on all and we're just leaving all our fears behind. So leave the work at home, leave the stress alone, toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Let the music take control. Let it seep into your soul. When the bass line starts pulsating, feel the stress keep evaporating. Let it bring me to your mind. There could be no better time to get on the floor, cause we're just ready to blow. Ready to blow, start up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark on the trombone.
Start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Give it up for Mark, y'all.
So let me go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Ready to blow,
ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Yes, folks, good night one more time. We are G-Syndicate. This next song we're going to do for you, you can find it on our upcoming EP called Revive. We released it last year, and we're ready to rock. This one is called Chemistry.
Hey, 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 girl. Hey, Sweet calico, the honey bar, good looking. The way how you move it, put me in a mood, I'm glad to see you. Your waistline on the baseline, so attractive, I wanna be a captive. I see a smile on your face now, so beautiful, I know you're original.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we still grooving. I love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving.
Come talk to me, girl, classy and intelligent, and you run the world. And let me say face to face, know you feel the tension, just had to mention. Your brown eyes, shining bright, so gorgeous and glowing like sunlight. I hear your voice, angelic eyes, so amazing, I wanna keep this going.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. I love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love how you dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving.
Hey, girl, I wanna take you home with me.
And hey, girl, sugar energy, yeah.
Hey, girl, I wanna treat you right, you see, you see, you see.
Hey, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky, just the two of us. You and I. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me, don't hold back, gal, just be free. Love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and just groove. And I love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and just groove. And I love your dance and show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, we're still moving. I love how you're not touch.
Show off, show off.
You have my attention. And that's for me, baby.
Step out, step out.
Just keep it moving, but we're still grooving. We're still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Yeah.
The next selection is entitled Englishman in New York, a song made famous by Sting in the 80s. Hope you enjoy.
I don't drink coffee, I drink tea, my tea. I like my toast done on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking king here at my side. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. manners make it man, as someone said. He's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Modesty's propriety can lead to notoriety. You could end up as the only one. Gentleness, sobriety, all rare in this society. At night a candle's brighter than the sun. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can do. In New York, takes more than combat gear to make a man. Takes more than a license for a gun. Confront your enemies, avoid them when you can. A gentleman will walk but never run. If manners make it man, and someone said he's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and strive. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
You know you sing at home.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York City. I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Now, growing up in the 90s, I would have loved these songs. I'm sure those of you that know them will love them as well. So we got two songs coming up for you. We got I Wanna Know by Joe and Someone to Love by John B. and Babyface. Hope you guys enjoy.
It's amazing how you knock me off my feet. Every time you come around me, I get weak. Oh, nobody ever made me feel this way. No, you kiss my lips and then you take my breath away. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know what makes you cry. Oh, so I can be the one to always make you smile. Girl, he never understood what you were with. No, and he never took the time to make it worse. More loving girl. Baby, I'm the kind of man who shows consent. Yes, I do. Any way that I can please you, let me learn. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, and I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Yeah.
We'll take one road and a run out.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I am your host, Neil Justice, joined as always by my brother from another mother and your host, Derek.
Hill.
Wait, you play saying just no, I ain't hear a thing. I ain't hearing. Yeah. Play them again, man. You know, one here. Let me hear the things. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are live. We are in the building. And of course, because some of you seem to appreciate when we have a feminine touch on this podcast, we have, let me see if I can get her here, Dr. Carrie-Ann Pate. Carrie-Ann Pate. How you doing, Doc?
I got you covered too.
Yes. I good.
Yes.
I'm good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you too. How you doing, my brother?
I'm here. I'm well. I'm abiding, as the old people would say. I am ready one more time to do the Lord's work. Promising to some people that we dive into tonight's topic a little bit more and really stretch your brain and make them consider some things that they didn't consider before. So I am ready. Went to the gym, had a good workout. That was great. So I am feeling strong both physically and mentally. I'm ready to rock. What's going on with you, my brother? Talk to me. How was the birthday? How did things go?
Everything was all right, pretty much after, what did we do? We recorded a short. And then
good birthday celebrations.
I mean, just wellness. I don't know what it is, but wellness. But anyhow, we did a short, and then I pretty much went in my bed. And
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that with a stick. A lot of people seem to think like, oh, you're very boring. You might sleep by yourself and this and that and that. Say, man, when you get over 40, talk to me. Tell me if you can be rambunctious and out there fetting all night. You might not got that in you. Anyhow, now that we've had the pleasantries out the way, first things first, people. Let me show off the shirts, man. Let me show off the shirts. Yeah. Wait. Dr. Carrie, like she's stick. Wait. This ain't working out. Dr. Carrie? Wait. Dr. Carrie, like she's gone. Oh dear, she drop out. Let me get she back here, boy. Wait, hold on, man. Hold on. This ain't gonna do. Dr. Carrie? Page in the doctor. Page in doc. Carrie, are you there? You are muted. You may be muted. You muted? You there?
I hear.
Right. We're showing off shirts.
Oh.
We're showing off shirts.
Yes.
Black King and Black Queen. Short the nutritional facts, man. Let them see yours too.
Oh Lord, I have to get all the way up.
Yeah. One phenomenal woman. Yeah. All right.
That's right.
All right. So, we can get to that part of it. Anyhow, Derek, my brother, let's talk about G-Syndicate and all the awesome things that they're doing as the premier acapella group in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, man. The main day, putting in that rehearsal work and stuff. You can check us out, G-Syndicate6.com. You can check out the fellas. Everything on G-Syndicate 6. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud. Here on YouTube as well. G-Syndicate 6. Search us, you'll find us. We got the guys, Kiyomal, Waden, Mark, Brett, Hugh. And yeah, that's about it from us.
Yeah, man. Check out G-Syndicate, the premier acapella group. They are very, very good. And I actually, it's funny, right? Like part of the Christmas tradition now has been looking forward to anticipating the G-Syndicate Christmas concert, right? The last couple of years we didn't have it, obviously, because of the restrictions on COVID, et cetera. Usually I am there either in one capacity or the other, but to me nowadays as an adult ain't Christmas unless you're hearing the G-Syndicate guys playing on a concert.
It's true.
So we're looking forward to hear more about that and to hear when, where, and how that will be coming off. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate Podcast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything coming down from us. We do content for you 5 days a week. We do Tuesdays and Thursdays this live stream where we talk about the things that could get a little ticklish, a little serious, a little contentious, but it's all in good spirit. It's all in trying to discern some knowledge from the perspective of men and to obviously hear the perspective of women in this space. And then, of course, we have the Senate shorts. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have the Senate shorts. No, you didn't get a short yesterday because after I edited the short yesterday, something told me to fact check it. And when I fact check it, it kind of put the whole thing out of context. So then me posting it would have made it, it just wouldn't have made sense if you knew the people involved and stuff like that. But I am sorry because it was an awesome, I had some cutaways in it and it was pretty funny to me. I actually had one, Derek, that I know that when you saw it, you would have laughed. But I can probably share it with you, Derek. And
yeah.
It would
Don't
probably
mind watching it.
It would probably, you never know. I might be able to put it as a bloopers reel or saying.
Yeah,
The short that wasn't. Might still release it. But yeah, we are the Senate podcast. That's what we do. We're here. We're here to talk the things, have a discussion. Contrary to popular belief, we are not what you say we are in a negative connotation or context. Because, hey man, we have friends that are women. We love women. We really do love and promote women. And not in a sleazy, disgusting manner. We love women in that we want to see women thrive and get through and operate life with some common sense, just like we do men. Anyhow, so tonight we are talking about the woman king. That's why we all have all these brilliant shirts, 2 black kings and a black queen. Yeah. But you gotta lift up the shirt a little bit more. Matter of fact, don't do that, Carrie. I know lift the shirt more.
Yeah, that's a little wrong.
Don't do that. Facebook is watching. But we are talking about the woman king. We're talking about have modern women been played by feminism, right? Derek warned me very early on in the juggling that this is going to be something that people may raise an eyebrow at or whatever, but you know how it is. We here for it.
It's par for the course now.
Par for the course, right? So over to you, my brother, lead us in sermon. Your devout congregation awaits your gospel epistle.
Yeah, folks. Good night as always. And as usual, hit the notification bell. Sorry, not your notification bell. Hit the like button. That is the cost of admission. Hit that. Come on in. Sit down. Breeze out. Join the discussion in the chat. I see some people in here already. My man Mac Brown ain't early. Antisocial Stephen Wu, Aston, Marlon, and Cherish. Good night to all of you. And to those of you who are in the shadows and not commenting. Yeah.
God, download all these things. So
Yeah. No problem. I'll pad it a little bit more for you. And as Neil said, we had a short yesterday. It didn't come, but we got one coming for you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And if Neil is true to form, we have a wild to kick off next week, Monday.
Oh boy.
And
an anthology series. No, not anthology. Is episodic series of shorts.
Yeah, so feel free to just be patient. Sometimes we don't always get it right, and as Neil said, you don't want to put out something that is inaccurate and doesn't accurately represent what is occurring, right? So that's one thing we like to do, is make sure we got it right. I was thinking before I came out here that we don't break stories. We are not to Jerome Hall. We are not reporters. We are commentators.
Yes.
Right. So we comment on what is already out there. We comment on stuff that has already been reported in the news.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We don't break stories. We are not reporters. We are not in the business of reporting news. We comment on what is already out there. So sometimes things will come up and you might realize that we don't touch it, probably because it might be from a legal standpoint, and you may not want to get yourself in that kind of trouble. So we just kind of leave it alone. I'll say, stump.
Yeah, we're on the legal department.
Yeah, in the legal department here. So Ramel Vaughn, shout out to you, my brother.
Shout out Ramel, boy.
So we kind of leave it alone. I'll say, stump. We wait to get the details or some version of the details from the news, and then we we comment on that. So, there's some things we just gonna leave alone and touch them when they come around later. So it might look like if we putting out stuff that might come a little after the fact, but that's why, right? Because we don't want to get flamed or roasted for talking out of turn. Anyhow, folks, we here. And Lee, you just gotta let me know when you're ready to crank, and we could go on. Right?
All right, no problem. Just give me about a minute or a minute. I should be at least ahead of how far you're gonna be going with this thing.
Okay, no problem.
So we could we have a lovely lady here. We can talk to her, see how she's doing.
Oh, for sure. It's always great to see Dr. Carrie Ann on the panel. It's always great to have you. I truly value your input from as a psychological professional, if you want to call it that. So it's always interesting to hear your input. A lot of people comment and tell me that they do love your input. It is odd to me because we find that we say the same things, but people take it, I guess because you're prettier than me, but people take it a lot easier from you. You probably, your voice probably not as rough. So it's always good.
For real.
Yeah.
It's
always good to hear from
comments.
you. Yeah, man. And
So
it's always good to have you here.
Let me ask you, Dr. Carey. While I get myself in order, how do you see the experience being on this show? What would you say, given your experiences and how we taught the things and doing the shorts and everything, that you could give us the serious and not so serious side of what we do here?
You mean given my experiences with men?
No, with the show. The show. We don't want Jay to tell
Don't
all.
talk your business. Yeah.
No, I enjoy it. Neil and I have been friends for years, going like 15, 16 years now.
Tell me, don't call years. Don't call years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Let's say a long time.
So long time. So that's been great. I've always appreciated Derek's perspective when you guys launched the podcast last year. I was like, oh, Derek's kind of cool. I like his perspective. I like the jarring kind of commentary to make you really kind of critically think. I like the critical thinking piece. So I enjoy it, and I like learning. So I'm here to also learn. It's not that I've done whatever I've done in school, and it stops there. I learn something all the time. Every time I log in and listen to you guys, I'm learning something new as well. And I will say that it has been exciting in that it's also helped to kind of process through some of the daily dynamics that I observe and how men and women interact around me, and then how I interact with like my brother and seeing him with his wife and in relationships I've had. So it's interesting to kind of critically think about the steps that you guys outline as well. So I enjoy it.
Good. Always happy to see that we can, offer some words of wisdom.
Oh yes.
And that you can glean something from what we talk about, and that we don't just talk junk. We're happy to hear that. We're just happy that you can get something. Folks, I see we got 2 likes. I don't know how accurate that is, but still hit the like button again. That is the cost of admission. So touch the like button there. So get the likes up, and let me get ready to crank, because you can be ready.
Yeah, you could crank. You could crank. I should be far enough ahead of you that you might come to with furious anger.
Yeah, just might. But we ready. So the question for the night: are Black women being played by modern feminism? The movie The Woman King hit theaters recently, and depending on who you ask, it either received glowing reviews or mixed at best reviews. When I saw the title of the movie, I gave a wry smile and shook my head because I found it sadly hilarious. I know that's oxymoronic, but sadly hilarious is what came to mind. We are so enamored with the idea of the masculine boss chick that we decided to not only adopt that, but to take it a step further and have the woman king. Not the queen. Well, it's not the queen. That's a different matter entirely. The woman king. And while I'm here, let me say that I expect that with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, his on-screen sister will be cast as the new Black Panther.
Yeah, for sure. Already been revealed that she can, or implied heavily that she will be the next Black Panther.
And I think that will further serve to undermine and eventually erase any vestiges of Black man who handles his responsibilities righteously, takes care of his family, leads, that kind of thing. But that's another conversation for another time, right? So we can get into that probably if we watch Black Panther 2 when that come out, if it plays out how I think it will.
But let's be fair though, there. I feel it. important for me as the resident nerd here that Black Panther in the comics, his sister does become for a short period of time Black Panther. So it is kind of in keeping with the comic book and etc. So it may not be as heavily agenda, or maybe the stars align. Who knows? But the point is that
maybe stars align.
stars align, right? But just saying that it may not be what we
As agenda driven.
Yeah, I hope so. I just hoping that it plays out more so along the lines of real life events plus what's happening in the comic books, more so than trying to make me swallow gender swapping roles and stuff like that.
Well, we see how it's going these days in Hollywood, right? So you
Thor: Love
never
and
know.
Thunder was bad, and not because of the female Thor, just by the way. It was bad.
Yes, that's all the reviews are saying exactly that, right? No, we were so sold, well, not me. They were so sold on the idea of this woman king and boss chick and all that they even decided to rewrite history and try to sell it as a true story of an army of women defending their land against the evil colonizers, right?
Mm.
Yes, they said it was a true story.
Yeah.
Star of the movie Viola Davis then tried to shame people into watching the movie by declaring that anyone who didn't watch it was anti-women, anti-women starring at the box office and anti-black people. So you were a double whammy of misogynistic and racist if you didn't watch this movie, right? But when the historical details of the real story come out from the Dahomey tribe and all that, we discovered that the heroes of the movie were in fact the villains in real life, are actually the ones selling their compatriots and from the other villages and stuff like that into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So needless to say, because I am who I am, I had a hearty laugh at that particular turn of events, right? Many women today want to be men so badly. Notice I said many, not all, not all police.
Good night to y'all.
Many women want to be men so bad. They want to be able to work like men, dress like men, talk like men, curse and swear like men, and even have sex like men, but without judgment and the consequences that men face. So let's have a watch of a couple clips to highlight exactly what I mean. So Neil, if you are up to speed, we should be ready to rock somewhere about there.
Yeah, we at number 3, right? We should be at video number 3.
I don't know. Let me just check it. Because I wasn't following along.
Yeah, I
four.
Yeah,
4 and 5.
4 and 5. All right, got you covered.
Yeah.
All right, you on screen. Oh, sorry, Carrie Ann, I didn't say it to you. Sorry. Let me do that real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, just give us a minute. Gotta make sure that everybody is up to speed with what's happening. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't think 4. Yeah. So let me send those to Dr. Kerry. Right. So if you receive them in order, the video we playing the first video now. Yeah. So here we go. Play now.
Though, and I had a lot of money, I would pay. I would be a trick.
I would be a trick ass.
If the pussy's really good and it's really hitting for what you're saying, it's
not if the pussy hitting. Can you not?
I would be toxic, and I would be proud of it though, and I would just let these bitches know, like, oh, let me tell you how good your pussy is.
So hold on. So y'all would do that for women, but you wouldn't do that for men? I'm not tricking on no niggas.
I'm not tricking on no niggas. I just bought one of my Houston Bays a Gucci wallet.
Wow.
That was a lot for me. But here's what happens, right? My body be talking. My pussy dries up and my body starts talking and everything gets real dry and confused. Everything's like, and now we're laying in the bed and I'm supposed to be juicy when I'm not, and it's because of what I just did at the mall for you. And my body we're not in alignment, and it doesn't work out like that. When I do it, my body says stop.
Well, maybe it's also because it's not really your person. Like, it's not your man. It's just somebody you're dating.
No, I love him.
Yeah, she love him.
Yeah.
But he can't get a thing. Bodies get dry when she out money. Look a life, look. And then we going into the next one, which is, yeah, I think this is it here. We're going to use second video. Here we go. This is, all right, put it like that. There, I might go block you for a minute.
She follows rap music. She has ever since she was a little girl. But I kind of came to awareness of you with the Cardi B WAP.
I've always wanted to do a song with Cardi. As soon as she sent me the song, I think I sent it back to her like the next day. And it was just so exciting. The men, they seem so confident in what they're saying, and they don't have no problem with talking about their sexuality and how they're gonna have sex with you. So I was like, well, I could do that, and it's gonna sound fire coming from a woman.
It's great to see women be so kind of fierce.
That is my life's mission, to make sure that I'm always unapologetically me.
I appreciate Dr. Carrie Ann Peart. I appreciate you. I appreciate your face, your expressions. I appreciate it. Anyhow, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Right now, we're in a time when women exhibiting masculine traits is being encouraged, especially and predominantly in Black communities. And they're labeled inaccurately as empowerment. Right now. Right? This is where we are. The problem is, we know at our collective core that something ain't quite right with this pseudo masculinity thing, this cosplaying as man. The lady in the first video said that she literally dries up if she buys something for her man. Right? You know that sounds funny?
You know what came to mind?
Go ahead.
You know what came to mind?
Tell me. Pretty much. Right? Why is that? There is a reason for that, though. As funny as it sounds, there is a reason for that. Her evolution is saying to her that she is providing for a man. We talk about the 4 P's all the time. One of the 4 P's is provision. That is a masculine trait. Provision is masculine. It's one of a man's 4 P's. So that is why she, quote unquote, dries up when she steps into that role. Now, ladies, don't mistake me to say that you should not buy anything for your man. Do not take what I'm saying to mean that.
Honey, Derek, tell me don't buy you nothing.
Yeah, please don't mistake what I'm saying. But that is why she has such a very visceral response to buying something for her man, because no, she stepped into the role of provider. And it don't feel right because it is not her role as woman, right? So as weird as it sounds, when women don't want to buy men things, that's why. Because it just don't sit down right with the evolutionary biology. It just doesn't, as weird as that sounds, right? No. We also heard from the Right Honorable Meg Thee Stallion. What she had to say.
Meg Thee
Stallion.
And
what she had to say.
Right.
The men say what they're going to do with the women sexually, so by rights, women should be able to be as crude as the men. And on that, we agree. Yeah, I know even the didn't would agree, but I agree. Equality is a thing.
No, you know what? But hold on, you know why you disagree? Because when we sing about having sex with women and all the crudeness and the rap lyrics and thing, dance all lyrics and thing, it's called toxic toxic masculinity.
Masculinity.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. What you will find is that the women love toxic masculinity in that regard, right? Chris Rock has a skit where he says, you know, the people that like rap the most is women.
Facts.
Have you ever played at a dance hall? Chris Rock he say the women be playing dance or dancing to the slackest lyrics ever. Smack her with the dick, smack her with the dick. Smack her with the dick. Yeah, shoot, right here by our business.
She like
it rough, B. She want me what she buy, she here, and you know what I mean? And predominantly women, you will hear playing that, right? But having said that, equality is a thing. But what about the outcomes? Are the outcomes equal as well? Men and women have very different outcomes when it comes to sexual behavior. So if women decide to act like men, then they can only expect the consequences of men. And that's when things start to get a little dicey, right?
Right.
Opposites attract. Ergo, no masculine man wants a masculine woman. Well, Yeah, most masculine men don't want masculine women. But some people that doing things, you know, that
Hey,
if that float your boat, row with it, you know?
that is pegging.
Yeah, pegging. It's my
Dr. Carey,
vision far right with it.
you know it's pegging. All right, we would
You talk about
we review that. Don't Google it,
Yeah.
please. Don't Google it.
Yeah.
Don't Google it. Do not Google it.
We can't talk about that on here, right?
No, don't Google it.
Ladies, you are free to do what you want, just as men are free to not deal with you. The girl Erica Banks, she's a rapper, or a rapper, as one of my exes would say. She was recently dumped by her man because he thought that she was too masculine. She would talk to him and she was talking about bro and bruh, telling him how to suck his D, that kind of thing. Men don't want that kind of energy around the space. So when men see that, they generally don't deal with it, right?
For real.
On a quasi-related note, I hope you all paid attention to the two Caucasian ladies with whom Meg was speaking. If you could put them on screen for me, Neil.
Oh, yeah,
they are none other than Hillary Clinton and her daughter, Chelsea Clinton.
Hillary Rodham.
Right, everybody knows Hillary because, you know, her husband is, you know, probably the greatest president of all time. Smoke weed, out of sight woman, still get impeached.
Right?
Yeah.
Where she is and play a saxophone. If he in,
got to be the
anyhow.
first black president we ever had, right?
Facts.
Neither of those ladies, please note, this is what we want y'all to take here right now. Neither of those ladies engages publicly in any of the behaviors of which Meg or Cardi B sing. But here they are encouraging and endorsing Meg to continue to champion her brand of entertainment under the guise of empowerment.
Go get that black vote.
Yeah. Oh, we coming to that, Neil. We coming to that.
Female black vote, Dr. Carey, you know, you live in the States, you know it. She's trying to get that black. She get licked the last election, though.
Hold tight. I would suggest you all hold tight. Sit back in your chair. Thoughts, if you with me so far, hit the like button, drop some ones in the chat, right? Let me ask you a question. Anybody think that Hillary and Chelsea both to be in these streets twerking at any time soon?
No, there's no hoes in that house.
None. Well, except Bill.
Wow.
Yeah. Anybody think that they actually listen to Meg in their house on a consistent basis? And again, probably the only body listening to Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B in our house is probably Bill. Right?
There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house.
Now, this dovetails beautifully into the other salient point for tonight. And as a prelude and precursor to that point, because we're talking about votes, allow me to show you guys a clip of one of the campaign songs being used by the Democratic Party in one of the upcoming elections in the US. There's got enough elections, I can't keep track of which one this is. Have a watch, folks. Let me watch the chat for kids.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah. Trey Tracks, I think we got one. It's voting season, bruh.
No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking.
So, hold on, Rasta, hold on. So, you got what was that artist name? The first one,
Saucy Santana.
Trina. Got to get that vote, man. Hey, man, black people ain't voting. You know, try to get that vote.
I'm gonna continue in a minute, but I just here watching the chat because I really want to see people's
try to get people like Dr. Carey's husband to vote.
Yeah, for sure.
That live around the corner from she.
Yeah, her prospective husband that she refuses to acknowledge.
She don't want to
but we can talk about breaking up homes and things next week when they talk about Tia Murray, right? But that's another story for another time, right? See when my anti-social justice site. I love it. I truly love it. Let me continue. Now we all saw the video and the message being delivered. I'm not sure how we got here, but this is where we are. Right?
Here we are.
This is who we as black people. This is what we are. A woman and a bearded man with makeup, nails, and a BBL promulgating the message of no voting, no fucking.
But Temo, Time out. The man got a BBL?
Yes, Neil. Yes, Neil. We spoke about this man a couple months ago.
And what is fucking?
Vucking. But it's all like to you, Neil. There's a reason they chose vucking because F and V, from a
I know,
phonemic standpoint, both form their sound by biting the bottom lip.
Now, I am the type of person, if you use in a political video, promo video, right? I assume all the verbiage used will be actual words. And there will be some type of discernment with the language used. So I think him fucking now is just some sort of, and that's with a V, YouTube, Google. I think you know that this is somehow some slang or something like that.
No.
You remember the audience you're appealing to. We have to appeal to it.
I would be insulted.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
So we have a woman and a bearded man with makeup, nails, and a BBL. Face beat back, as my man Mark would say. Shout out Mark. Promulgating the message of no voting, no fucking in an attempt to get black men to the polls. Right? As an aside, this shows how little regard the heterosexual black man is held. Because instead of appealing to black men's issues, it chose to use sex as a weapon in an attempt to hold men to ransom. So if you don't vote, no action for you. And this is what they brought to black people and that is the strength of the campaign, right?
I mean, like it's a hot.
Yeah. At what point will we recognize that the things that we are being paid, as Trina and Saucy Santana, they got a check. Yeah, they may do that for free. Them do again get a check. The things that we are being paid and encouraged to do only serve to paint us in as negative a light as possible. And more importantly, are not being done by the people who are paying and encouraging us to do them. Mm-hmm. The principal players, Neil, in The Woman King, director Gina Prince Bythewood, screenwriters Dana Stevens and Maria Bello. When you look at the three of them, they are Caucasian ladies. And they ain't knocking nobody grift, they ain't knocking nobody hustle. If that's how you can make your money, make your money. But at some point, we got to say, not really. Let me step back from that, which is what Lupita did when she was offered a role in a movie. But I shall continue because I can dive even deeper, right? I can dive even deeper because it's more than that. Some people today can expand your brain tonight. In the book, Birth of an Industry, Blackface Minstrelsy and the Rise of American Animation, the author Nicholas Salmon describes how popular American cartoon characters were derived from blackface minstrelsy. Put minstrelsy on the screen for me, so people can see what we're really talking about.
I've been there, buddy. Been there.
Thank you. He charts the industrialization of animation in the early 20th century, its representation in the cartoons themselves, and how important blackface minstrels were to that performance, standing in for the frustrations of animation workers. Now, for people who are wondering or unclear as to what blackface is, it is white people painting their faces black to portray black people. And this happened,
was on screen, yep.
Yeah, 100 years ago. As Neil said, what is on screen? Right? Brace. Cherished cartoon characters such as Mickey Mouse and Felix the Cat. Big up my mouth chalk off. Come on, Neil. I'm trying to be serious. This deep stuff here we talking, right?
Not what you say, show don't chalk off. You're bad mind.
Mickey Mouse and Felix the Cat were conceived and developed using blackface minstrelsy's visual and performative conventions. These characters are not like minstrels, they are minstrels. So when you see there's a reason Mickey Mouse looks the way he looks. black with a white face, essentially. There's a reason Felix the cat looks the way he looks. Going further, they play out the social, cultural, political, and racial anxieties and desires that link race to the laboring body, just as live minstrel show performers did. So they take the minstrelsy off the stage, because that was offensive, and they put it on screen, because that was less offensive. Carefully examining how early animation helped to naturalize virulent racial formations, Salmon explores how cartoons use laughter and sentimentality to make these stereotypes seem not only less cruel, but actually pleasurable. Let me read that again. Carefully examining how early animation helped to naturalize virulent racial formations, Salmon explores how cartoons use laughter and sentimentality to make those stereotypes seem not only less cruel, but actually pleasurable. And that's where we at. So that's where we would get that video that Nisha show. No voting, no fucking. Right? Because shoot, we just supposed to laugh at it, laugh it off, right? I remember Antonio Burrada used to be the CEO of the NCF many years ago. He wrote a book, and in that book, I'd never forget, he said, Bajans love buffoonery.
Ooh.
Yeah. Facts of life.
Bajans love buffoonery. We love a skin teeth. Shoot. That extends to black people, no, it seems.
Worldwide.
In general.
Worldwide.
We love buffoonery.
Yep.
But once we can skin remote, we good with it.
And only because skin remote are we, you know.
Oh, yeah. Because when Apple released the bonnet emojis, we got a problem with that.
No.
Yeah, that's offensive.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Modern feminism is no tricking / convincing black women to be participants in their very own minstrel show. You need no more minstrelsy. We doing it ourselves. We are watching women perform for the entertainment of the later complected. Them two women sit down there and encourage Meg Thee Stallion in whatever it she was doing.
What do women say? What is Karen to say? Yes. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time you see Meg Thee Stallion, she tongue out. Yeah. And it's yes and this and that next eater. We are now complicit in the degradation of our own moral fabric and the perpetuation of all the negative stereotypes associated with black people. Fortunately, though, more and more people are starting to notice and comment on what I'm talking about. So let's hear what this young lady has to say about the depictions of black women in mainstream media.
I'm the only one who notices this trend of like,
I too saw that trailer and I was very confused about what I was watching because the show was positioning itself to be, or it seemed like it was going to be about women who were strippers or in SW work and, didn't want to be that anymore. But at one point during that trailer, one of those sisters got up and started grinding on who the host or the interviewer was. And then the shot that they got when she did it was very explicit. And I was just sitting there like, what the hell is this? What am I watching? Like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing black women like this. Every time a bunch of dark-skinned black women, they put a bunch of dark-skinned black women on TV, it's always over-sexualized, a bunch of drama, a bunch of fighting. It's just a bunch of foolishness, a bunch of coonery, and I'm so sick and tired of it. And I know there are thousands and thousands and thousands of black women that are also tired of it because we do so much more than have sex and fight, right? But they keep on portraying us like this, and we got to do something about it.
I mean, I got my little take on that too, but it's your time, your monologue, your sermon.
No. There's a way to solve all this, Like we require we being have a little bit more fortitude than what we have. Just stop taking the money. Just stop taking the check. But when people say they got kids to feed,
hey man,
people can take the check.
Hey man,
that check the fool for it.
The check and clear.
Yeah, can't carry morals and standards in MRC. You know what I mean? Look at any of the reality shows in existence today, and you'll see what he's talking about, right? All the iterations of the Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives that portray our women as over-sexual, salacious, conniving, ghetto, ratchetous women who are quick to fight and in search of the bag by any means necessary. And our men, as no good whoremongers, only concerned with sex and with as many women as possible, are hustling for the bag with shady means. And if you think that this only pertains in the US and not right here in Barbados, ask yourself how many videos of skin out cruises do you see circulating on WhatsApp? There's a video, because as I said, we participate in the minstrelsy ourselves, right? We take the check and then we decide, you know what, we want a check so we can create the content ourselves. And there's a video of Sukiyana, another patron of the patron saying to the channel, saying that she comes from a long line of horse, all the way back to the Moors. And she said that proudly, right? That is where we are. A movie like this could not be made and be convincing using any other group of women. No other group of women seems to be as comfortable being depicted as aggressive and combative, but our women. Our women embrace it, revel in it, and wear it as a badge of honor. How many times you hear women say, yeah, you ain't strong enough to handle me, and I talk up, my boy can't stop even talking out my mouth, and I could do this, and I bad all by myself, and I strong and independent, and this. We all know the rhetoric. There's no other group of women that could have been convincing as a woman king.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. Like. Let me take a look at the likes here. I know this. What the young people see, Muffin. We got 80 people watching on 5 plus. Come on, people, up the likes. Come on now. Ain't cost you nothing but a like. Anyhow, no Barkeisha tonight, Philip. No Barkeisha. And there's a comment that passed here, right? Well, two that I want to highlight before I let Dr. Kerry speak. Condex Papi, shout out back. Happy belated birthday, my brother. I think yours was yesterday. Hope you had a good one. You said no wonder Dr. Kerry makes the distinction between being a black woman in America and being a Caribbean woman. She says that to me all the time. She has been saying that to me for years. Anyhow, but Matt, you're very you're very perceptive. And then of course, the Felix comment, feel the licks. Let's just say that speaks to an artificial phallic instrument. That that Ahmad said he's named it Felix, and when I asked why he named it Felix, he said because he used to feel the licks.
Feel the licks.
Yeah.
Shout out Choco, man.
Anyhow, Dr. Carrie Ann Peart, she is here. She obviously
before we let Carrie go, I want to respond to Rihanna. Rihanna is saying is the woman king based on actual events. I don't even know how to do it. Yes and no. Yes and no.
Yeah.
It is based on actual events, but it is a bit of revisionist history going on. They're celebrating the Dahomey tribe, but in actual fact, the Dahomey tribe sold other tribes into slavery.
Right.
So the tribe did exist, but
and they did have the army.
They did have the army, but they are not the heroes or the heroines of the particular story. They're actually the perpetrators of the crimes.
Right. So Dr. Kerry,
Hi.
had a lot of our conversations that I wish we had recorded over the years.
I know,
because we thought about this. It seemed like we've been talking about this, particularly in the last 5 years, more and more. So in your opinion, do you think that the modern woman has been played when it comes to, this whole empowerment, feminism, this whole, strong, independent black woman?
The modern black woman has been played. And I said that to you earlier today too, when Derek sent the blast out, reminding. I was like, you know what? It's the modern black woman that I feel has been played. In that, just like Derek was saying, we're constantly put into the limelight in all these different places. It happens even in the workplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a version of tokenism. There's this constant, oh, let's put a Black woman in here and, talk about, and listen to her talk about her lived experience and her work in, like what I do, diversity and equity, and, listen to the plight of the Black woman directly from a Black woman, but you're not paying her equal to the white man, right? She still has to do double the work the white woman in the office is doing, right? Even if they're in the same position, she does twice as much, because there's always this whole proving. There's constantly this, yes, I'm a Black woman and I have to prove that I can do this work, and I have to prove I can do it better than everybody else, even though you are already more than qualified. So I think modern feminism has really screwed us over as Black women. And we're constantly, just like with, Meg the Stallion, you saw that was going on there. For some people, it's like, oh my gosh, look, she's talking to Hillary Rodham Clinton. But really and truly, it's just another play in the long history of plays.
Yep.
Level of validation beyond that point doesn't go anywhere. Is Hillary Rodham Clinton going to buy her albums? Is she going to promote her music? Is she going to go out to parties and dinners with her in public?
Will she play her music more than once, other than just to do her due diligence to say that she listened to the song? To
listen to it right before that particular encounter.
Yep, she ain't playing it more than that once.
But she said it.
Like,
said
here's who you're going to meet. Here's the music that she has out, just so now you are, culturally aware of this individual. And here are the questions that you can ask her to prompt good discussion. Come on, man, don't act like we don't know the charade. So I think we're just screwed over. I really, really think so. And yes, I am so happy that Condensed Poppy remembers when I said that. I do not, this is one of the many reasons why I don't identify as, or I find it hard to identify as a Black woman in this American context, because it comes with so many assumptions and a lot more expectations. And I do not fit a lot of those expectations at all, physically, socially, intellectually, all of that. So it's I guess disappointing for some.
Yeah. Just before we get into the video Derek sent to me, I remember one thing, Dr. Carey, you told me that you were speaking with someone, and I guess they were taken aback that you did not fit the stereotype of a Black woman. I think it was to do with like aggressiveness or the stereotype of an angry Black woman or whatever. I think it was in response to something that was contentious or something like that. And the way you handled it and everything like that was very professional, your normal demeanor and everything like that. And I remember the person saying, whoa, I thought you'd be more aggressive or, passive aggressive or whatever. So that's an interesting thing that you're saying when it comes to that, the perception of not only Black people, but specifically Black women in that space. All right, Derek sent me a video. We're going to get into it. I didn't send it to Carrie Ann. So let me...
Why are you leaving me out tonight? I don't understand.
Hey, it's not purpose.
You see how he going along with your rhetoric there? The same rhetoric you're trying to prove a point.
Listen.
Marginalizing the Black woman.
If you take a minute and stop being the stereotypical angry Black woman, you would check your WhatsApp and see that it's already been delivered, right? I done got you sorted out, right? So when you're ready, you could tell me. You ready, Woman King? All right, let me go. Let me get it.
Blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't? Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
Yo, that video I saw a few weeks back, and that is just gospel truth. So, so I guess it's my turn to go. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to like, comment, share, like, comment, share, subscribe the content. Now, a few things struck me when you were speaking, Derek. And the first thing that struck me, right, and I keep saying this, when you listen to women in general, like people that are speaking out against men or speaking in this pseudo empowerment of women, right? It is funny when they are fighting for the rights to be sexual. They're fighting for the rights to be promiscuous just like men. They're fighting for the right to look any old how just like men. And they're fighting for essentially certain outcomes that they perceive men have, right? And I find it funny that in one breath they're fighting to, as Meg Thee Stallion say, in front Hillary Rodham, men to sing about explicit lyrics about doing sexual things to women, why men can't do it. I mean, sorry, about men doing it, why women can't do it. And in another breath, we are told that doing those sort of things is toxic masculinity. Yeah. So it's like, yes, you are seeing men, for example, and we hear this double standard all the time. It's the first double standard you hear when it comes to men and women, right? A man got enough women, he's a boss. A woman got enough men, she's, of 3 or 4, right? But what you don't understand with a couple of things, because I can tackle it from another side, is that there are consequences to being the man, to have all of these women around you and to, be a player and, all of these things, right? One of those things is that there's the psychological, mental aspect and the whole metaphysical part of it. And the boy don't really talk about. Yeah, it look good on paper that the boy's buying around the drinks for the man that got enough women and shaming the woman that won't do that. And women fighting for the standard that they are congratulated for having their body count high and being a player and stuff like that. You see Amber Heard with the slut walk and all of those things. But by the same token, there is it's like walk a mile in a man's shoes kind of thing, right? The same way women want us to walk a mile in a woman's shoes when it comes to child rearing and having to deal with certain things when it comes to physical and career and job situations where men don't understand what women go through when it comes to having to deal with certain things and this and that, especially when you talk about the wage gap. I know there's a school of thought where the reason why the wage gap, or there is some wage gap, some people would say it's because of the amount of hours that a man can work versus a woman can work, particularly with certain external factors, right? But a woman would say, walk a mile in a woman's shoes, you don't know what it's like. Have you considered, you want us to see your point of view so badly, why don't you take a moment to look at our point of view? Because I am sure if you tell any man that has a lot of women on the surface, and you can see that he's a player, he got enough women, he's the man, right? He got enough yachts, they got some men on social media that's got enough cars and this and that, the next, the third. You're looking at the facade, but you're not looking at the internal workings of it. Does that person have trauma? Why is that person sleeping with another? Why does he need a high body count to validate who he is as a man? You understand what I mean? And what we're trying to do is like shift women having a high body count to validate them as a woman. And their sex, because women control access to sex, and it's all wrapped up in the guise of sexuality. So now to validate your femininity, and there's so many things at play here, because high body count equals sexuality equals femininity, because women control access to sex. So by the mentality, if I am sexually empowered and liberated and I do my sexual due diligence, I am just for you, brother, just for you, right? And I do that, then I am seen as a woman, hear me roar, right? But there is a disconnect between femininity and sexuality, because you sleeping with 10, 15, 20, 100 men, a woman. I think we did a short, I can't remember if we did a short, but the woman slept with, I think, 300 somebody people in a year or something like that, right? Like, yeah, right? Like, at the end of the day, you see that as empowerment, you see that as doing your sexual due diligence, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that takes a toll on you. See, people don't talk about these things. People are not talking about the mental and spiritual side of it, where you are, because again, we talked about this briefly in another podcast, right? Women talk about soul ties. Women just pushed out, airy, fairy, floaty, poetic, peer bonding, and soul ties, right? But when you look at it, if it is such a important thing, why you want to have sex with 100 men? Because you see a man do it and be congratulated by his peers. But y'all call that toxic masculinity. So in one breath, you're saying, I want to be feminine. I want to, part of my femininity is sexuality. And this is a huge component of me as a woman. And I want to express and explore that and empower myself to be that. But then, on the other hand, when you see a man do it, you calling that, in public, you're calling that toxic masculinity. So it is something to think about. I think it is misleading what society places on men that are, as we in the Caribbean say, shotters, players, right? Because there is the mental aspect of it that people don't talk about, right? Because at the end of the day, people that have issues staying faithful or committing and have enough partners, shoot, we could get the numbers, right? The numbers say, if you have pair bonded, I think for women, they say if you were intimate with more than 10 men before 30, you are more likely to be divorced. I think that's the stat. I could be wrong, but it's something like that, right? And I mean, we can go into it. We can really deep dive into the mental, the statistics, how it relates to serious committed relationships. But I don't understand how we are pushing this narrative that, sounds like what should be pushed up, because sounds like, I don't know, the same, what the boy named Brutal Crank Star. It's like, yeah, you see a man get success singing slackness, explicit lyrics of what to do with a woman. So you figure the best way to do that is for me to do that too. But what are you really doing? Because the man do it don't mean it, right? And as Derek said, you doing it to cut a check, you do it for clout. At the end of the day, what are you doing, right? And there is something to be said for these women doing these WAP videos and this and that next, but then getting one of them man to be WAP. Then carrying on the WAP to their husband. Cardi B just carrying on the WAP to her husband. Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion carrying on the WAP to their husband. And then there's trust and believe them just do the traditional woman things for them man here. You see the videos and you see the
video of Cardi B mopping the house.
You see the performative actions and acts, right? And you see Cardi B and thing grinding up for one another in a video talking about doing anything for clout. And they're like, yeah, boy, them is couple goals. But y'all don't see what really is couple goals. Couple goals is, that's a topic for another thing, right? But I want to say this, right? I want to say this. I think women have been played and sold a bill of goods when it comes to the feminist movement. In that, I would like to believe that the feminist movement was well intended when it first came up, from the standpoint that it was empowering women to have the same rights and opportunities of outcomes of opportunity for men and women, right? Women can vote, women can get educated, women weren't seen, they were seen as kind of second-class citizens when it comes to how men were and stuff like that. But that has changed. And I again, we say all the time, Derek and I are products of single mother households, right? We had strong women. Derek got his mother's aunt. I got my mother, I had my grandmother. We got strong women in our lives. My grandmother from my father's side, we have strong influences on us, right? We are who we are because of these women. So for me to sit here and say, oh, I want women to get back in the kitchen, I don't believe women should be empowered to do the things they do and have the positions they should have in society and in jobs, and would be hypocritical when I am the man I am today, both as a man and, the privilege and benefits I have in life, like house and the ability to afford certain things and to see life in a particular way and understand how to navigate through work and life and finances. I have that in huge part to my mother. My father played a part. I would never discredit my father having a role in it. But for me to sit here and say women should get back in the kitchen and just keep the legs legs should either be up or up on the ground washing dishes. For me to say that would be hypocritical of me. My mother is the strongest woman I know. And she is a huge influence in how I perceive life. right? My mother has a can-do spirit and attitude that is unmatched, unbeaten. You can't tell my mother she can't do. My mother learned. I remember my mother did an interview in Barbados for the Business Authority. She did an interview as the leading salesperson in Barbados, or one of the leading salespersons in Barbados at a time where it was hugely male dominated. And she was saying she learned to change a tire because she didn't want to be dependent on nobody. And they said that that's a man thing to do. You can't be changing the tire, Miss Hoyt. My mother said, oh yeah, I can show what's really going on. And my mother, to this day, can change her own tire. She taught, as a matter of fact, my mother taught me to change a car tire. So,
Same here.
Right. So let me dispel that. It's important for me to dispel that, and I will continue to dispel that notion of misogyny and everything that you all claim us to be. But it is important to note that I believe in what I believe the primary intent of feminism really was meant for. Now, fast forward all of these decades later and generations later, we got women. I literally saw a video today where a woman was walking the street. She's a sex worker, and she was walking the street in her garb, her uniform, and talking about the song that was the what was right.
I need you.
Yeah.
I want you. Making my way downtown.
Right. She was she said making my way downtown, moving fast, selling. You could rhyme. Right? And that's empowerment. Like we're seeing videos of women twerking. We're seeing women do the silhouette challenge. Oh my goodness. Everybody and the relationships were broken up because of the silhouette challenge. So, in my opinion, there is something to be said. There is power. Again, let me be clear. There is power in sexuality. There is power in seduction. There is power in the feminine ability to control and disseminate access to sex. There is power in that. Shoot, the God songs that tell you, women rule the world, boom boom run the world. Right? They're that's a school of thought. Women base that because of what they're able to do. Wars, ships were launched, men were trained and fought wars behind women. Right? But there's one thing to say it has power, and then there's another thing to be trained about that power willy-nilly. You abusing your power. You just out here skinning out because empowerment. Like that doesn't make sense. And then when you don't get the outcomes you want from a man, when you manslating you DMs or you meet a man that only using you for sex. I saw a person on my Instagram today. She did a photo shoot, right? Very pretty young lady. She did a photo shoot. And in my opinion, it was a bit risky, right? I don't have a problem with it. It's artistic. It was nicely done and everything like that. But in another context, a woman would be posting these pictures on a regular. And when men approach her for that, or a man starts talking to her, having seen those pictures, and then he gets what he wants sexually and then bounces, then men ain't a good. But we talked about this before in the previous space. That's your brand. You put that out as your brand. You fun loving. Yeah? You're a no-nonsense girl that loves sex. Or you have no inhibitions about exposing yourself and performing. So we got to understand that it is not all it is crafted to be. If you want to be a man so bad, and you want to have the same rights and quote-unquote privileges that men have, you got to take the lumps with it too. You got to take the lumps with it. You want to be a man and you want to get paid just like a man, then you should be at risk. For, if you don't perform, get sent home. Same way. You do not perform, get sent home. That is as fundamental as, I am in a work situation now, and there's a dynamic I am seeing with how women are treated versus men. And I can assure you, and this ain't just the workplace that I work in. I am telling you, this is how it is across the board. I assure you that men have got the privileges that want to really, really think in the workplace. I want to really, really think. So, to me, a true black queen, a true woman king, is a woman that knows her femininity, knows her feminine power, and leans into it in a feminine way. Instead of trying to be a pseudo man, instead of, as Derek like to say, cosplaying as a man, right? You putting on that helmet of a man.
Well, to be fair, but for my one part, I reject the premise of a woman king. But that's just me.
Well, just hear me out. Because I guess
I get where you're going with it.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I understand what you mean. Woman king, let me get rid of king, because king is for men, right? So let me talk about the woman queen then, or let me talk about the queen, right?
There you go.
Right. I think if you lean into your power, you lean into your femininity as a woman, as a female, and you use that, tap into that, trust and believe. There's nothing wrong with being feminine, you know. There's nothing wrong with being soft. There's nothing wrong with being delicate. Because this is the thing that's bothering me, right? The strong, independent black woman. You want to be a man. You want to be a boss bitch. You want to be an alpha female, right? But a man still got to prove he worth to you. A man still got to flew you out. Shoot. My woman says she's get dry. She's be like the Sahara. When she owe money. A man got owe money for she to get the juices flowing, to get Niagara falling, right?
You know, can I just interject right there?
Go ahead.
I thought that was absolutely absurd.
So
Like,
when you I was gonna make a very bad joke.
when
but
I buy stuff, when I'm
gonna
in
make a very
partnership
bad
with a
joke.
man and buy stuff, whether it is, let's say I'm buying takeout to bring home after work, or it's his
It could be
birthday
a
and I'm
gift,
buying
yeah.
some cologne or something. That stuff to me is exciting. Like, that's fun for me.
You don't dry it when you buy a man like a shirt or a pair of
Hell
shades.
no. That just sounded so strange to me. I'm like, what the hell is she even talking about? Then to her friend's point that maybe you're not really attracted to him. Maybe you're really truly not aligned with him. And I agree with that. When as a woman, if I am not completely aligned with you, particularly psychologically, like mentally, if we are not aligned, then trust and believe nothing else not go on.
Right.
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 So I know that for sure, and I know other girlfriends of mine have said that as well. Like, if they're not stimulated mentally, then physically nothing else is going to happen. I'll just be laying there taking lash, or
Starfish.
when I get mine, that's it.
In Barbados, we say taking stick, not lash, but we understand the connotation you mean. Taking stick.
So
I
was quite taken aback when she was mentioning that buying stuff for her man makes her feel the way she said she feels. I just think that is, and this is the other thing that the feminism movement has insidiously woven into our psyche as women, that anytime our feminine pieces or energies are not working, it's the man's fault.
Jeez, oh, right.
Right? And I'm thinking to myself, how is it his fault when that energy is not his? It's your energy. So if something is not working with you as the woman, then maybe you need to check how you're associating the energies around you, how you're associating with certain energies, which is why I'm big on soul ties. I know you say it's corny, but it's a real
But
thing.
no. Okay, it is corny, but we do acknowledge the fact that there is something to having, especially having raw,
Yes,
intimacy with someone.
unprotected sex.
Yeah. What was that you said, Derek?
Exchanges.
Right, when you're you're having conversations without protection, right? Without the helmet. When you do those things, it becomes I acknowledge that, right? There is a tie. There is a bond in the exchange of energies, right? I just find it corny that people use it when it suits their narrative. They use it when it sounds sweet and flowery to post. Like,
Right,
soul,
but
you're talking
remember-
about soul ties, and yes, I want a man that I could intertwine my energies and spirit with, and my soul can soar as twin flames through the ether of the universe. But then
But
you're gonna
remember
come,
what
but you're gonna
I
say,
said to you guys way back when you had me on for like maybe the first or second session? I told you the little insider secret that we as women don't really want to admit. We are taught to manipulate. And I'm using the word manipulate because I think everybody can relate to that. And I'm not necessarily using it in the negative sense. We are taught to be crafty. We are taught to seduce. We are taught to.
It's how you survive. That's
Right. It's part of our survival as women. And unfortunately, right, given other social narratives and the rhetoric and all this kind of stuff and being stigmatized for certain things, because, right, let's take it all the way back. Women who were crafty in that way and seductive in that way were called witches, whores, witches, all sorts of negative things. But when you look at the root of those things were actually celebrated and were important to a society, that women were like that. They were the healers, the directors in certain ways in their communities, and those things were important until certain groups of men felt threatened, and then it became stigmatized. And then this whole thing of alpha male and beta male and all this other drama and all this stuff has just come up over the years, and we're still using it in such ways to manipulate each other. Honestly, it's just gotten to this point now where it's man against woman. You talk about the wage gap a while ago, Neil, I mentioned it too. You know, it's all of this stuff that has, in the guise of equality and empowerment, still keeps us marginalized and oppressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I showed up my man came my year within the chat, my big respects.
Yeah.
A real good musician. Good to see you in here, brother. I saw him on the Instagram page, commenting on some of the things that we would have posted. So good to see you in here, man.
Good to see you, Kimar. I want to say this too, right? You know, another thing when you were talking there, I was thinking about this empowerment thing, right? And you know, a term that is used often is your face beat, makeup, your face beat, right?
Yeah. Why we have to say it like that?
You know, but I was thinking about it, right? Is it possible that is the face beat because when a woman has been physically,
you
know, she
laying on her pants,
right? It looks like she has on makeup. It looks like, you know, she got different colorations.
Rouge. That's what it's called. Carry on rouge.
Yeah, blush.
Right.
So tell me how that term is so popular. If and this is the thing that really freaks me out. If physical assault perpetrated by men against women was such an insidious, nefarious thing that we kicking open doors and just doing this thing and we en masse doing this thing, why is it now considered trendy to say, look, girl, my face beat?
But it's
part of reclaiming a narrative.
Exactly.
But what?
It's the same thing that happened a few years back.
The N-word.
With the N-word when we were in high school or college, right? The reclaiming of the N-word.
Okay, good. I'm glad y'all brought it up. And I think
that the word bitch also is another one.
Okay, good. And I want to say that all of those reclamation of words like that have failed. The N-word is still a word.
Hold on. Failed is relative. Because some people think it has worked.
Well, in my opinion, it has not. Because if the N-word was so trendy and hip, right? Why we here saying the N-word? If we have reclaimed the N-word, why we here saying the N-word?
And why can't the later complected use it? If we have reclaimed the power of it, we should not be bothered.
We should not be bothered
if white people use it.
If we've diminished the powers of words like the B word relating to women, why you can't gonna say, why can't walk up to a woman and say, hey ma, look, or while talking to her, talk to her like a woman would and say, look, B and this and that next. Why you can't call, if the whole slut shaming and reclaiming of the word slut and whole why I can't walk, or why a random woman can't walk up to another woman and say, look at you hoe. Why that can't happen? Right? So to me, the reclamation of certain words, that beat face thing, that ain't catching on. That ain't gonna be reclaimed because anytime a woman appears, she called the police station and say, yeah, I have been assaulted. Here are the pictures of my face beat. People will be like, oh, that ain't nothing, you know. The word get reclaimed, so don't worry about that.
And then I'm so glad you pulled it that way.
Yeah, because you cannot.
That's the problem, that we want to do these reclaiming of things, and when the other group of folks hear that and you cry for help, because more than likely when you go and report this issue is a lighter person that you're reporting it to, and then they're going to say, but I thought that word was okay with you now.
Exactly,
so,
because if you're reclaiming and you're trying to diminish the meaning and connotation and the whole narrative of a certain thing, you're trying to remove the stigma and power from it, right? To me, you can't do that with things that have been so evil and reprehensible in the past, like physical assault and quite literally
it's too much history.
Not only that, but being a woman there, right? Call the whole N-word situation. Then there was never no good that come from that in terms of like that whole situation and where the birth of that word came from. Like, they're not a good connotation to hold. They're not a good connotation to the B word. Like, You understand what he's saying? Like there are certain things, like
Totally.
scrubs, like scrubs. Man, they walking about here saying we can reclaim the word and they can be a scrub. Me and Derek can be scrubs. We can reclaim the word. Like
Please don't. Yeah,
it
please
is,
don't.
in my opinion, it is silly because there are certain words that just need to be removed from the lexicon
Yeah.
of the human language of human existence. There's certain things that just need to, let me not say. Don't I try my absolute best. And I think I do a good job most. I probably use the N-word as a joke once a year or twice a year. It's not a word that is in my, I don't say the word. I don't want to be
Yeah, you say
okay,
that.
right? But then
I
again,
have been reading something.
right, but truth be told, it has a different meaning to us here in Barbados in that in America, that was something that was heavily used and associated and stuff like that. Here, the word was Negro. Like, when you see the bill of sales and stuff like that, it was Negro. When people talk about, and the English used to say Negro, that the English never used to say the N-word. That's more an American thing. You understand what I'm saying? So even though it has a different connotation to us, we still understand the power of the word. We don't know the full experience of what Americans go through on a daily basis with regards to that race relations and that word, but we don't use the word. You understand me? Like I don't hear that word as often as I hear certain people in America and other places use that word. So to me, to reclaim a word that is a bad word, that has a bad history and a negative connotation, what are we doing? You know what I mean? What are we doing? I just feel that we need to stop, pause, because thought is another word. Some women been trying to reclaim that word thought. That over there.
Yeah, until somebody
like you're trying to
calls them
reclaim
that.
it. Yeah, you're trying to diminish that. So you're making it cool for your circle of friends. But when they come and say, all right, well, you reclaim the word, so use a thought. And misogyny, patriarchy, blah, 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 burn them at the state. And they're like, wait, but I thought it was cool. I thought we're not reclaim it and diminish the power. What's the problem now? I understand.
You know what though?
Go ahead.
You know what though? We have these words that we get caught up with and whatnot, and terms and social media challenges and all this kind of foolishness that literally are just elements of distraction and distortion from people spending time more critically evaluating themselves and dealing with what they need to deal with and move on to healthier engagements. All of these things are just time wasters, honestly. And I do respect the fact that you guys are raising that. I'm not saying it to say that we don't need to talk about it. We do need to talk about it and keep acknowledging the fact that what these things that you guys are addressing every week are distractions and ploys that keep people, particularly us in the Black community or the African diaspora, however you want to identify, right? Keep us on that hamster wheel of illusions.
Keeps us dull.
Right? And for some people, they want to stay on the hamster wheel and just be numb.
Yeah.
They do.
It's
easier.
But what it just came to my mind? Steel sharpens steel. Let's look at TikTok. TikTok in China, where it originated from, is a completely different tool.
Completely different thing. Right.
Than how it is used here in the West.
Right.
And that what it does over there is it has young people, they show academic achievement, they social achievement, they show the best of the best of the best of the demographic that use that. We literally got people on TikTok getting in supermarkets, shaking up bottles of soda and training about the place.
But you guys said it earlier. You said it earlier, and it is painful to hear. But for some reason, buffoonery, effery, is what we pay most attention to for some reason. And I mean, if I pulling strings, right? Dare I say, we had to, particularly as people of color, Black people, lean into entertainment as a release from the traumas that we were enduring over the generations and generations. But at what point do we realize and wake up to the fact that the entertainment now is still us?
Hey,
minstrelsy, man.
Like, where do
we are the minstrel show?
Like, how do we not that needs to be reclaimed. Like right, like something around that needs to be.
I don't even think
reassessed.
This is my thought process, right? I think that steel sharpens steel, and sticks on sticks cause fire, destruction. So if you, I feel as though to me it's not even a reclamation. I think we just need to find our true identity in our community, because I feel as though we had an identity many centuries ago, and it has been taken and warped to what is today. And we are now, I think we are caricatures of who we are meant to be. And I think when you see,
that's exactly it.
right, when you see Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion performing and talking about what, and in front Hillary Rodham Clinton, because that's not just a white woman, you know, that is a white, almost former first lady, almost president of the United States. This woman was literally a hair away from being president of those United States. So to get that validation from her, that's like, okay, well, yeah, well,
but it's not even authentic validation.
They don't care. But hold on, we don't live in that time. But we cannot discern authentic validation versus.
Right.
Point to you, ladies, and again, we can hold some licks for this, but I'm ready for it, right? That's like when you have a plus size woman, right? Woman is 300 pounds, 5'2", right? And she go on a bikini, right? And her friends are saying, yes, queen, oh, look at you, rock that, this and that, and next and third. And most of those women don't look like that. Most of those women will never want to look like that. Most of those women behind closed doors would ridicule that.
Yep.
Right? But that is validation. It is not genuine, authentic validation, but it is validation. Right? Right? Shoot, as a matter of fact, when you give validation to a woman that working out fit and stuff like that, women that fit and thing is we've been told it's fat shaming to go to the gym. It is fat shaming to go to the gym to look good, to lose weight. It is fat shaming for you wanting to transform your body for a healthier life. And so there is validation, but we don't know the discernment between validation that actually makes sense, as you said, authentic validation, versus a puff chest for 2 seconds.
Right.
Because I could look at you now and say, Dr. Carey, man, your hair look good. I like your hair, man. Right? That feels good in the moment. That validates your choice of hairstyle and color in the moment. But then I could say, I validate you for using your natural hair. Your identity as a Black person, as a Caribbean person, you rocking your natural hair to me. I respect that. You see that validation now? That's a validation to your identity, to you as a person, to your history, ancestry, culture, your entire, as Derek says, physiog, right? Your entire being. You understand? So there is superficial validation. I guess that's the best way to say it. And there's authentic validation. And we need to discern when, because a lot of people wonder why, well, not a lot of people wonder, don't let me sound like a certain person that is big at themselves. But I don't post often on Instagram and social media. You know why? Because today, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had a little sharp. Your boy put together an ensemble and was out here rocking. I'm telling you, shit. As a matter of fact, I literally put on my clothes and went in the mirror and said, God damn it. Shit. Gosh, right? Like I ain't gonna lie to you, the colors are on, belt was matching, shoes and socks, tones, highlights, jewelry was matching, shirt matching, pants. Like I telling you, I was on fire. And I took a picture while I was in traffic, and they say, no, I should post this. But then they say, just gonna post it to do what? Tell me why you already know. I ain't get the likes, and people are there, gonna come and say swag shit, Megan, come on and like, give me and say, oh God, fire, look good and thing. But why do I need that? And I'm not telling people.
Some people need that.
To be clear, I'm not telling nobody, because my man Derek, there was a season, Derek was posting every day, man was posting a different color scarf.
God damn it.
Just shit to post off his followers, right? But I'm not telling people not to post what they want to post. I am saying you gotta know why you posting it.
That ain't coming again. It's cool.
Oh, it's coming again.
Yeah. Listen, this man has but I'm mad at live in the Caribbean, right? Where the mean temperatures are balmy 32 degrees Celsius. This man has a wide variety of scarves. It is impressive. It is genuinely impressive. Like I remember when we first started doing this show, the man went about, we hit double digits well into 30s before my man said start recycling scarves. And I was like, and we was doing shows, We
I
started off
remember
once
that
a week,
one.
and then we
Yeah.
started twice a week. My man, I see 2 scarves for you. Saying, man, like, saying, yeah,
That added to my interpretation of Derek being a cool guy.
yeah. There you go. So, but he's
Ois.
as we just said, steal the star from shield. I don't Dubs is flavor, Dubs is charcoal to say. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
associate with
charcoal.
bandits. I don't associate with people that in.
Bandit.
Yeah, and I don't want to be tooting my own horn, but you know, I don't think Derek and I would have been friends so long, nor would we be in this space if Derek was a man that was coming on here, you know,
Yeah.
beer
Toe
back
up
and
from the flow up.
you know what I mean? Like Derek and I speak very well. As a matter of fact, I actually admire the way Derek speaks. Derek speaks very, very well. He has an immense command of the English language.
You mean he has a strong emotional vocabulary?
No. That is the dipsy doodle we try to avoid here on this show. We don't dipsy doodle here. There's no
Oh,
do not manipulate your way into don't manipulate your narrative onto the
Throw
show.
that in.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I know.
Throw that
But
in.
anyhow, we're getting off kilter, we're getting off topic. Let me palm up and come
But
back
yes,
to the thing.
I
Right.
think it's all parts, and you and I, Neil, have spoken about this too in certain scenarios about when people, like you say, dipsy doodling. When you say a certain thing, and it is clear what the intention was, but then somebody comes in and says, "Well, actually, no, maybe." Da, 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 da."
That is that bullshit.
You
That is
know,
that bullshit. And I am tired of it because terms are like I've even stopped using terms like red pill. I've stopped using terms like manosphere. I've stopped using terms like beta male, alpha male, because man is man here. And I got men that by certain standards soft, and I got men by certain standards aggressive.
Yep.
Just like with women, they got certain you know, you hear women talk, Mala, as Derek said, I just can't handle me. I just talk out my mouth. The boy can't hit me for my money. The boy can't talk, shut me up. Right? So to me, I think that we have to recognize, right, that there's if we like the word spectrum nowadays, right? Spectrum is another buzz term. There's a
Yep.
spectrum to the human condition. There's a
Yeah.
spectrum to who you are as a male and female.
Yeah.
And that is all right. I'm not telling you if you are an aggressive person by nature, that's fine. And if you find a partner that rock with you like that, that's fine. Just like if you're by a feminine man or male and you're not necessarily as aggressive, but you find a partner to rock with, that's fine. That's good. Kudos to you. As a matter of fact, I think that's the goal of the race. To find a companion and get through life with. That's part of that's a goal. Right? So if you found your goal and you out the race, then we ain't talking to you. Because I got some people that's come in this space and say, I want to talk about gender roles and this and that, but me and my husband, all right, but sweetheart, you find the piece that working for you.
Yeah, it working.
You win.
I will dare to challenge that. If somebody comes into this space and says, "Oh, but I'm married and that doesn't apply to me," why are you making a comment? Is there something that you actually want to talk about?
Because no, I can push back.
I would dare.
I can push back to the pushback because when people do that, it's like you start to think it's like perception. You believe your experience is the experience. So because you have the masculine energy in your household, and you're the person that shouts and I know whatever. If you have a submissive man and you are a very demonstrative woman and you talk out whatever you like, however it line, he got to take it and thing, right? If that is your reality, if that is your experience, that is your experience. But that is not the experience of everyone, nor is the experience that most men want.
Correct. But I'm saying oftentimes I have witnessed some people come into certain spaces and try and dismantle what is being said of other people's realities.
Yeah.
Because it has rubbed them in a particular way and brought up things that they have not
Resolve.
articulated well.
Hit dogs
right?
is holler.
And
That's
now
what
they're
we
kind
say
of
in
like,
Barbados. Hit dogs is holler.
right.
Mhm.
So I've seen that happen where people, "Oh, why are you talking about that in that particular way? Because my husband and I, or my wife and I," why are you coming across that at? We were just simply illustrating something else.
And this goes back to the
Right?
not all. That's why there is always referencing not all police, right?
Yeah.
Because
There are
when we
things
talk about things, oh, but that's not my experience. Not all. Right? I had a very good friend of mine actually say he believes that we are the reason why we come off as misogynistic and stuff like that is because of how we choose to the language we use and how we try to seem to be pitting men versus women, right? Which in our opinion we don't. You understand what I mean? Because from his perspective, from how he views it,
Mhm.
happily married man, he sees it that way. And in his experience, because here's the thing, right? What we have come to realize is that a lot of people ain't in the streets. And by the streets, I mean a lot of people ain't out here really hearing, like in a cross section of circles of people, like all walks of life, that really tell you their experiences. Like Derek and myself, Derek more than me, we hear the experiences from men. Shoot, I've been at work now, not even a full week yet, and I hear it the man woman dynamic talking from both men and women. Right?
Always.
So
Yeah,
it just, and I ain't telling nobody nothing about nothing, you know. I ain't like, hey, come in and say, oh, wearing a shirt, say they said it podcast. I just trying to keep my head down, keep my nose clean, and keep my job in the first week. And people are just saying things in lunchrooms and in certain spaces because
It's
people are
always going to be
frustrated.
the same.
And when I say people are frustrated, ladies and gentlemen, I mean just that. Ladies and gentlemen are frustrated.
Yeah.
I literally I was on the job yesterday, right? And I met a woman and we were talking. She's my age. The woman said she was by herself now. Other women, other staff members were congregating and speaking and things. We had a little downtime, so they were talking. And I was just walking around trying to meet everybody on the team and everything like that. So I went this woman off by herself and I introduced myself. We were talking or whatever. And she said, yeah, she don't really mix up with women because she know when women get together, how does get on. This is a heterosexual woman that told me that the reason why she ain't off talking with other women is because she know how that dynamic is get. She know when enough women mix up. She know it start to get is always turn sour.
Always.
I didn't say that. Neil Hoyt didn't say. A woman tell I'm making this up.
But even the women who watch on a regular basis, I'm sure, like Brianne and Cherish and them, I'm sure they would tell you the same thing, that they don't mix up with a whole heap of women too. That's a common thing. It's just that you guys don't hear it often.
And but here's my thing, right? My
code, man. You can't out the women, you can't out the sisters. You gotta hold together, hold strong.
But here's the joke, right? Here's the joke.
See, we out here agreeing.
Yeah, she's right. Me and Derek and myself, we do not associate with certain types of people. And I don't, when I say certain types of people, no, I want to be very clear. I ain't talking about socioeconomic nothing. No. I'm talking about we do not associate with certain people. People character. Certain people that have a certain character, people that are narcissists, people that you know, don't be considerate of others, people that don't know time and place, people that just don't know how to carry themselves. We do not, like, we would talk to them, we were like, yeah, we're getting on, brother, everything cool, we stand and have a conversation here, but these ain't men that I in a WhatsApp group with, or these ain't men that I can call upon to whatever, go in business with. These are men that you see outside there. So if we can say that as men, and stand on that and say, shoot, you see it all over the internet now, you are the pack you roll with. You are the tribe you roll with. The people that you
doves
got
just fly with doves.
Doves just fly with doves. Shout out Choco Minaj, right? The great orator Choco Minaj. But when you got people in your circle, right? And you got people that are does, women will want to get on men for saying certain things about women. Right? And it baffles me because if we say about men, that's all good. If a woman says it about a woman, that's all right. But as a woman observes something about a woman, that's a problem. When a woman observes something about a man, look, shoot. I remember, Derek, you remember my first girlfriend back at school years ago. Good. Yeah. We were young and foolish. I don't know if she's watched the show, but show her. We cool. I know I ain't got no, she good woman and everything. That. But at the time, we got in a little dispute about something. And she was telling me about my friends, my circle of friends. I said back at school, right, Derek? So we talking about near 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm. And she was telling my circle of friends, she said, with this friend this and this friend that, I don't like you friends, you need to get rid of them, just use you, this and that next. You gotta watch the circles you keep and how they move and everything like that, right? I'll tell you this, doctor. Those men are my friends to this day. To this day.
I
Derek,
want to ask a question about this.
Derek, this is my mind. All of the men that, shoot, I saw one of the same friends that she talked about today, and I was best man at his wedding. That's actually two of the men I was best man at their weddings, right? These are men. If I call now and say, brother, I got a bump saying off you. I got give me some advice, and it is about anything in life, you know. So I am saying. Right, shout out Kevin. Kevin is another man that he is a road dog for me. right? You really did. That's all right, man. Just give me a like and everything is forgiven. But I just want to say that at the end of the day, this goes for anybody listening to me, regardless of gender, class, creed, whatever, religion, race. You are the sum parts of who you are around and what you consume. Go ahead, Dr. Kerry. Don't burst.
I really. So, recent conversation with a cousin of mine who's a woman. And it comes to this friendship circle for men. She has a dear friend of hers who's a guy, sweet guy, love him. He's married, has a great family and whatnot. And she always asks him, why you don't set me up with one of your friends? And the common answer is, you don't want none of my friends. And I had to think about any of my circumstances. I never usually ask my guy friends about the partner. No, I don't usually do that. But I know that some women do that with their guy friends. Ask, how come you don't set me up with none of your guy friends? If you're so nice, your guy friends must be nice too.
I just want to point out, I just want to cross you real quick. I got to say, because bad mind to the hill. Ask me to set you up with somebody now. I got the perfect person for you.
No, you know what? Look, I'm not asking you or Derek because I know both of you have the same person in mind. And I'm not asking. The people, our fellow cabinet members will discover what they're talking about shortly.
Right. Anyhow, sorry, I just had to
I like it.
Yeah.
But I want to ask that because there are quite a few of us as women who do have very dear and close guy friends who we trust and love, who run with circles of guys who often we think are equally good men. But when we ask, it's like, no, you actually don't want Tony. You don't want, you don't want James. You don't. Like, why not? If you are part of that friendship circle and doves fly with doves.
Right. Your mom may not want you friend in there, so forget it. You know what I mean? You said, man, this bar chick here.
Bar horse.
This bar horse come mess up all my life. That ain't gonna be feeling responsible. Like I said it, my mom with a chick that, do you dirty and stuff like that. Fellas, it want that pressure.
But
for your woman.
I can say something to Derek. No, right? I can say something and Derek can corroborate me, right? No, Derek and I, we have very close friends, right? That on the surface and to the public, there are players, there are men that got enough women, et cetera, right? Got high body count, whatever, right? And if a woman were to come to me and ask me, is she looking for this type of man? And I got a friend, and I'm thinking about this friend, I would recommend there are guys that people on the outside would say, yeah, them is players, them in a good whatever, that I would highly recommend. You know why? Because those men, just like you, looking for a particular type of woman. No, of course, how they handle a woman that does not, like, because you get with someone, and then, of course, they just show you one thing, and then in the back end, is men and women do it. They show you something in the front end, and then in the back end is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, those men don't process that well. So them men would do bad things if they realize, like, for example, there are some men out there, right, that if they got a woman that is in tune with her feminine, the man rocking, man cool, man they stepping out, man they doing that. Once their needs, wants, and desires are met and they're able to be in a space to provide that for a woman, and the woman is allowing the man to provide that, and she is tuning into her authentic femininity, these men is stepping out. These men is stepping out. Furthermore, that man will get the distance. Right? I can think of a friend right now that I know everybody is saying is a scumbag, but this man want to get married and have children. And I believe, and I trust and believe, I've seen it with my own two eyes, that when everything going well and the thing, my man is a stand-up guy. But as soon as you want to come now and, you want to question his manhood and you want to emasculate him and you want pick a noise and pick a fight and you calling his character into question, my man can say very well. Shoot, I know what I
don't want to be a liar. So
this man
I can do all the things you're accusing me of.
One time this man, the woman say, and that's why you always up under this woman. You gotta be horny me, this, that, and that. See, man, but I ain't horny. You is a liar. I know you're horny, so and so. Tell me, so, you can ask Neil. No, I ain't dealing with boy. He can say so. Man said, very well. Very well. So is a horny man to you? Yes, you're not good. Very well. I don't want you to go down saying as a liar. Man ain't the rank in the argument. My man just say, here, you right? My woman here saying that so and so and so and so. What am I? What am I? I want to call about in the layer. So while they may, I am not advocating for that type of behavior. You got to heal as a man. You got to deal with your trauma and a woman. But I am saying that the reason why sometimes men will say, yeah, you don't want nobody in we circle, is not because of the men that we roll with, you know. It's because of the frame. Don't get tied up. Do not get tied up.
Okay.
Because if I know, like, Dr. Carey, you come to me and say, look, my home girl looking for something, and I know the home girl that you're talking about, and you say, yeah, my home girl here, she want to holler at Derek and thing. And they say, I know Derek. Right. And I know what he will not tolerate. So
that was a long list.
Right? Exactly.
You have a long list.
So like for example, Dr. Carey, you have someone in your life. I'm not gonna call any names or anything like that or whatever, but there's someone in my life that if you were to tell me, oh, I see Derek and I like him, I want to talk to him, I said not her. No, I would not, but because of our relationship, I would tell you not her. But if you were someone that I could not say that to you without like stepping on toes or whatever, I would say, nah, you not Derek. Not Derek. And that's not to mean that Derek is a scumbag. That's to say that you're a woman in
is not what he's looking for.
Exactly. So
got it.
Right. So it is not always because the circle got in duds. It is just that you gotta know your circle and know exactly. Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't really play a matchmaker like that. You know, and that's why we come here and talk the things so that everybody can get a fairly accurate assessment and understand. I know what to look for so that, you know, again, these kind of situations, you know, we're looking at, all right, folks, it is 9:41 in Barbados, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. And we just dive in the chat a little bit, see if you got anything in here that is worth, because we did look at a couple of things. Lee was saying on a side note, as a history lover, it's unfair to consider African participants in this trade as traders of race, as back then people didn't consider all people of black race as a unified front to them. It was different tribe and culture. I'm sure 100% that even if they listen to it, they don't even understand. I'm sure that's another comment that I kind of blended into the other one there just now. Tango Fox says, when people can't argue against the facts, they broke the misogyny label. Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody today that was telling me prepare to get cussed tonight.
Yeah.
I say that's fine. You can cuss me all you want, but cuss with facts.
But hold on, what you call that, Derek? It's called that what kind of language?
That's shaming. That's shaming language.
Shaming. You want to talk about emotional vocabulary? Talk about sign language.
Yeah.
Sign language.
Yeah, shaming. So get needed.
It's so easy. Why do we make it so complicated?
Ego.
Yeah.
Ego. That's it. Need to be validated to stroke ego. That's it.
This says
justified in decisions.
This says the Tia Mowry thing seems to be promo for Corey. No, I don't put it past Hollywood to do something like that. It's not going to be promo for Corey because everybody's siding with Tia so far. Yeah, you know it is when saying go down, the women they say, "What is the man do?" You know, the man had to do something. So Devin Franklin was a literal pastor, but when he divorced Megan Good,
you know these pastors,
it had to be because something he did doing. He did gay, he was this and that and next third. No, it's Corey Hardrick. He had to be horny in the woman, right? He's come out flatly expressed that he has not been guilty of any infidelities. So you can talk about that next week. And, you know, because Tia about to get a reality check when she comes back to these streets.
Because she will not be right?
Yeah, she will.
With child, right?
Yeah.
Well, good luck to her.
These
streets won't love you like I do.
He's our age, right?
A little older.
A little older.
Okay.
But yeah. Remember what? It was Tanya Stevens. These streets ain't gonna love you like I do. Just saying.
Jason is in the house. Good night to see you, Good to see you, Jason. Good night to you. Women have been sold a bill of goods. Can they ask for a refund? Should men take them seriously going forward? That's always the question. You need to, in order for a guy to you will take, you know, for a guy to, there's certain things you will have to look for, right? In order to make a decision, but if you're going to take, like, I find that I have a really good system in terms of being able to pick out. I don't get a lot of drama, right? Because certain things I just don't deal with at all. So when I see the upfront, not that.
Not me.
So like women that real loud, real quarrelsome. I don't care how good you look, you know, that don't attract me. So I don't deal with it. And because it helps because I'm a shy guy. So I don't like just walk up to women and I know that's hard to believe, but yeah.
But hold on. But anyhow, go ahead there. I don't want to distract you.
Yeah, I don't just walk up to women like that. So I spend a long time watching them. So it's allowed me the opportunity to see certain things. So when I see certain behaviors up front, it's like, okay, nope.
Not me.
Not me. And I'm able to save myself some grief. So when I do make a decision, I make a decision with as much information as I could possibly have. So I don't get the drama like with men like getting robbed, blind, and that kind of thing. Like I know a lot of men that get fleeced. I just hear all the horror stories. Them things don't happen to me because in one, I take my time. Two, when I see one-way traffic real fast. And when I see one-way traffic, they see the road for me.
He take a different road.
They see the road for me.
As the GPS is recalibrate.
Detour.
Yeah.
So I don't butt that kind of jump. But I do believe that there are women out there that you could deal with, that you could form a relationship, go forward with.
Of course.
There's something. I do believe that, but when they buy into the things we topic tonight, you buy into the mainstream media and you get sold this bill of goods, as we saying, where it's like, and woman hear me roar, and you don't need a man, and we could be everything the men are and all that. When you buy into that, then you're doing yourself a disservice because you get all alone.
And can I pick a plug with this?
Sure, go ahead.
A personal reflection with what you just said a while ago about, yes, there's some of us out here that you can certainly build and move forward with. However, there are some of us who need to do that repair, just like you're saying, right? That some of us have been caught up in the narrative for such a long time that we need to unpack a number of things and like the GPS system, recalibrate, re-navigate, right?
Choosing another route.
Right? To then allow ourselves to move with someone who is ready to reroute. There are many of us, I think that's part of my own process over the past year and a half, kind of coming back to that authenticity piece. Because, the American, this Babylon system, sir? I'm telling you. Listen, it will get you.
The system, fam.
It will get you into some twisted narratives. That you have to, you play. When in Rome, you do like the Romans. I have done that, and I've done that for so long that parts of me have now, like I don't know any other way. But the Roman way, when truly I should be doing the Caribbean way. And so now I have to recalibrate and recalculate to move forward. So there's a process with that. And unfortunately, for some women, it may take longer. Some women maybe drop it right away and be ready to go. But, so I do want to point that out.
Yeah, you actually have the benefit of your chosen profession. So you're able to almost self-diagnose a little bit and say, okay, well, so I could, this is what's going on, this is what you're doing, and I could kind of recalibrate because I'm very intelligent. So you say, well, I do X, Y, Z, and then I work for me. So let me try A, B, C. And then with your knowledge of your profession, is like, okay, this is why I'm not achieving the results I want. But at the end of the day, you're still a woman living, as you say, in the Babylon system. So you also fight that mainstream narrative, that mainstream programming. Crimson Cures talk about the lost value system. When she talks about the 10 like values, is spiritually taught.
Yes.
Leisure and wealth at the bottom.
Yes.
But the Babylon system, as we're talking about now, that's flip that.
You
So
got-
leisure and wealth at the top because we want to just be free and breezy and party and everything is easy
Yeah.
breezy.
Access and
And we-
experience.
And we doing everything to chase the buy because wealth is the most important thing. And we left out everything else.
Yep.
We don't realize that when we do it that way.
Yep.
Because what girls saying is true. Instead again, putting any exercise in gym, we get BBL quite easier.
Yeah. Yep. And by a waist trainer.
Yeah.
You gotta be dep on your guard because Babylon
Babylon
system is a y'all laughing, but that in music here.
Serious.
I want also say to what you just said, not to dismiss what you're saying, Dr. Kerry, because that is extremely true and valid. But I would just to me here in Barbados, and I'm gonna speak to where we are from. We still have our own Babylon system in that regard.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of women here that believe that the only way to progress in like certain spaces is to act like those in those spaces. In that, maybe a man. Let me
Jamaica has that too.
right? And then because we are again, and then there's the capitalism of everything
Yeah.
and the ego stroking of everything. Because to
Yeah.
me, I mean, I'm not a doctor. That's why we have you here. But you can speak to this. The ego part of it is the thing that driving this whole thing. The
Yeah.
ego part of it is driving this entire thing. And I
Mhm.
think that it is important for people to recognize that you got kind of be aware of what's going on and say, all right, here, Trot, right? To me, I always say, ask why. For me, in my life, the biggest question that one should ask, and I ask myself daily, is why? Why is this? Why so like for me, I ask why, and both of y'all know this. Why am I doing this? Why am I thinking this way? Why am I getting these outcomes? Why? Because the why is going to inform everything else.
Yep.
You understand? So if you don't ask yourself why, are you just doing? You can be like a dog chasing a car. You know what I mean? You twerking for the gram. Why are you twerking for the gram? Are you saying this is about female empowerment? Harriet Tubman, they got pitch oil paint as a Harriet Tubman twerking? Rosa Parks was in the bus when she get the award, the recognition for saying no in the big front of the bus. She was twerking. Shoot, when the Right Honorable Sandra Mason, our president, I ain't see she twerk. I ain't see Mia Motley become the first female prime minister of Barbados. So let me celebrate by a twerk video and do a silhouette challenge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I literally saw a video on
And
Instagram.
that is really
today.
important. That is really important.
That's really important because
That's
women.
right.
This is why I say there's a false equivalence here when it comes to validation, because women will look and champion and congratulate the leaders of our country and say, yes, look at women, we could do anything, which is a fact. But you can't say that gives me the right. No, not the right. Don't let me say a right, but it gives me the empowerment to twerk and feel like I'm on the same level as these leaders. You know what I mean? We saw a video with Megan the Stallion talking with Hillary Rodham Clinton. I sure when her team came to her and said, yeah, Megan the Stallion has WAP and she is known for twerking. Hillary said, slow down. You're using some terms there so that I never hear about in my life. Right? And I know people can say, oh, it's generation, she's old school, this new school, whatever. Even if she knew about those things, she want to become president of the United States. She ain't twerking nothing. She ain't singing about no wet nothing.
But Hillary, she said in the video that she came to know about Meg Thee Stallion when she did the song with Cardi B. That's how she found out about her.
Yeah.
So prior to that, she had no knowledge of who this woman was.
But people are equating, they are taking true female empowerment and success through feminism and equating it to their ratchetrousness. You understand? No, I am very, very serious.
Yeah.
Right? Because Mia Motley is prime minister and Sandra Mason, the Right Honorable Sandra Mason is president. We got a deputy prime minister that is a woman as well. We got women in key areas all around in Barbados, right? In this patriarchal system, Dr. Kerry, right? We have, there's this false equivalence to say, well, them things, so I could go and twerk on the gram. I could show off my body to the gram. I could be as big and as washy as I want.
Let me hit it here now, right? When it comes to that, that is where we as men have to take the blame. And I'll tell you why. When you come and you, if men decide, you know what, I am not spending any money on OnlyFans.
There will be no more OnlyFans.
OnlyFans will shut down.
Parts of life.
With the quickness.
Yep.
Right? If men decide, you know what, I am not liking any pictures of anybody shaking the ass on Instagram, then pictures will stop.
I disagree with that last part because it's women.
Trust me.
Women that's propped up too. Women that's propped up too.
But
women
not
that's
at the rate.
Not at the rate. Yeah.
No, agreed. No, agreed. I just saying it was. To me, I believe it was switched from likes to the comments. Like, yes, girl, yes.
But here's the thing: many of the comments dropping the fire emoji and all that kind of thing, and offering to do Lord knows whatever. There are women who make their money. There was a woman who was selling bottle farts.
Yeah, bottle farts. Sure. Erica Badu sell
juice.
Yeah.
You know, from her nether region.
Freshly squeezed nectar.
Yeah. She sold that. Right? But the day that men decide, you know what?
Yeah, that's foolishness.
This is a waste of my money.
Yeah, time and effort. Rinsing is
let me there are women there's a woman that was selling feet pics on IG for tens of thousands of dollars. I had a man that messaged a woman and asked to buy her bath water.
What?
Yes, and people talk about male privilege. This is what we are saying. This talk about male privilege. You think I could take pictures of my feet? As a matter of fact, no. There are some nice feet. Let me thought these things, right? There's a man that get the pedicures and things. They got nice feet. They're taking pictures of his feet and putting it out there, right?
They're the money for me, though.
They're in get 50 cents. They can't buy a brown mate. What we talking about privilege, yo? Anyhow, sorry.
Actually, Derek, if you did post them, maybe some men would like them.
Yeah, but he ain't making tens of thousands of dollars though.
He ain't
making that bank. He can make enough. He might make enough to buy a little special at Chafet. But that's
You never can tell. You never can tell.
Hey, I'm telling you. I am telling you. There are more women out there than gay men.
The men that are willing to pay for that kind of things ain't paying me. You know what I mean?
Never can tell them I flew you out to Dubai.
I get flew though.
Brother man, the podcast will take off. You come back with a little $100 grand, $200 new month studio.
Yeah, we got things set up.
Yeah, it might not do. I mean, it might not be able to let me. It might not be able to let me. It might not be able to come back, but
probably not.
But you have a good point, and I agree with you. If men were adamant about certain things, like for instance, these face brooms that women wear on their eyelids.
Oh my God!
If men were like, no, right? And if men would say like adamant and about just certain things that I think that women are now taking to an extreme to be just complete. I don't mean to offend my sisters in the cabinet. I really don't. But I'm sure some of you look at some of your girlfriends or other women in passing and wonder like, what the hell is going on? The nails them out to God knows where. The lashes them out to God knows where. The weave is down to God knows where. And yet she wants to be taken seriously.
Strong, independent, authentic black woman.
Like here's
the thing. If we go back to the video we showed with Trina and my guy Saucy Santana.
Well,
you saw Saucy Santana.
I saw.
The nails he had on, the BBL.
Now you tell me about the BBL, so they're not really he cosplaying a woman.
Well, yeah, we know how most of these, and I don't mean to offend either, but having lived in Atlanta for several years and then moving to DC for several more years, Black gay community, the extreme of things. Many of them take it to the extreme level.
Yeah.
Right. And it's for entertainment for the most part. Right. There's a part where it's a distinction, like I can do this and so I'm doing it. And then there's a level of entertainment. And the way I see some of us as women walking around daily, I'm like, are you entertaining me right now with the face brooms and the bonnet? Or am I supposed to be taking you seriously? Like I'm having a hard time. And I'm supposed to be your sister.
I got a hardcore. You see, you could talk what you like, right? You got fake eyelashes. and fake nails and fake hair and a bonnet, you are a hell no for me. If you have one of those, you are a no for me. Right?
Not me, to be
But
honest.
no. But
But I
here's
don't
my
see
thing.
it, so
No. But you see, for me, right? I don't mind. I had a conversation with a lady at time, and she was telling me like,
hold
you
on,
know,
hold on. Big up my girl, Charge. Charge is saying women
Women
in
in
crisis. I said that several times. The Charge won't bite.
Yeah, no,
She's really acknowledging it though.
Yeah, but what you're saying is for me, right? I understand there are some women, the hair and nails thing. If you do it, like if you're wearing a weave 350 days out of the 365, right? That's a problem for me. But if you say like I know sometimes Dr. Carey, you will put braids in your hair, and
Yeah.
You just want the ease of going through the summer or
I'm
whatever,
about to
right?
do it soon.
I ain't got the problem, right? Hey, I like cornrow Carey, right? And then you have the fake nails. To me, if you got the fake nails, like to me,
These aren't fake, baby. These are real. Everything is real. Derek.
You
That's
snapping
your
in the
back.
Z formation. Anyhow,
Yes.
2 snaps in the Z formation.
2 snaps up.
Yeah, right. But if y'all get
But
that
yeah.
reference, put it in the comments. But the point I'm trying to make is that if to me fake nails, right? I know some women have told me that, especially if you have weak, whatever cuticles or whatever, and your nails break. Like for some women, and again, I'm not talking about the majority of the year. If you're doing it to like, let's say, you can be, on the move or on the go, certain sort of thing. You do it like for a month or whatever, no problem. Or you do it for a nail or a couple of nails to help them grow or whatever. That's fine if you want everything to match and coordinate. But to me, I have seen women that got the whole nails all up to here, and when they type in a dial up on the phone, then gotta be like,
Yes.
right? And they got eyelashes curly till it touching the eyebrows, right? I got weave that you can see the pins and the tracks coming all down the back, and I literally be looking at myself. And I just be looking and telling myself, what self-respecting man? Can I go fox you on it? What self-respecting man? Right? Can say, hot damn, that is a wife. Hot diggity damn, that is a wife.
There are men.
There are men. And
no.
And that's why I coming to tell you here, no, Neil. That's why I coming to tell you here.
I posit to you that
let the lovely ladies do what they want.
Oh yeah, who am I?
Yeah. Put on where you want, put on where you want, where. That's not for you.
Out there.
That is not for you to decide.
Just not.
However,
when you put on the war paint,
gentlemen,
when you put on the war paint and the Wolverine blades, right? And you realize that no man ain't feeling like being going war and dealing with that. Because I playing it.
As you said, Wolverine, just random thought came to my head. Whatever happened to Gambit? He was my favorite X-Man.
Gambit's still out there, but they don't know how to. You see, anyhow,
That's a whole other conversation. But
that
it
is
just came
actually a
to-
conversation for my other podcast. Check out the Blah Movie Crew on YouTube, the BMC. We I hoping to get an upload. Shout out Mark, wherever you are, my brother. Hope you're well. Yeah. But Gambit still out there. He was one of my favorites too. But I like the villains, Magneto for life. But in all seriousness, man.
Yes, Rihanna.
I can let Derek wrap up just now, but I just want people to understand, right? You playing a game with a set of cards that ain't winning nothing. You literally got 5-5 and a broken straight in your hand. And you hoping to win a big pot. You ain't winning nothing with 5. You ain't winning nothing with a broken straight and 5-5. You ain't winning nothing.
Wow.
In brags, we got 5-5. You ain't winning nothing. You got 2-3-5. You ain't winning nothing. You understand? So at the end of the day, you could play the game, and you could play the game believing that your 5-5 should win you the big pot. But when you play 5-5, you put down the cards and you look to draw the pot, and the man put down 6-5 or ace or king and drop the money. Don't be vexed and kick over the table and thinking, nobody.
Yeah, I think that's a real problem, and that we keep choosing to ignore reality. And then trying to ignore the consequences of ignoring reality.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Air horns.
Because we keep trying to do the stuff that easy and feel good. It's easy to be out there as a shoot. The easiest thing for a woman to do is be promiscuous. The easiest
thing for anyone to do is be well, yes,
Yeah.
for a woman more so than a man, but yes,
Yeah.
pass.
Easiest thing.
Easiest thing.
Also, make a pick up the phone right now, text 4 or 5 men and get a response
Dr.
by
Carey
tonight.
could message somebody right now, and a man from a county in her same county could come.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
like the
Right? And
cabinet
serenade
to
her.
please
And
Roll the card.
serenade her.
stand for me,
That's what she
cabinet,
do.
and tell
That's-
them to stop harassing me. I would like the cabinet to know that this is harassment, and everybody in the chat is like, stop it, guys.
Listen here.
Leave Dr. Carey alone.
Listen here, big. Anyhow.
Yo, that short is going to be so wild. Anyhow, that is the problem. We want to do the easy stuff. We don't want to put any work to do the stuff that is
Correct.
a bit more difficult, that is going to give us the long-term results.
Correct.
And that's what beating us as a society. It's easier for us to take a check and go into our own minstrel show for the later complected than it is for us to build our own, work on our own thing, and represent ourselves properly.
And I want to say there is not only a check, because in these times it's likes, follows, clouts.
Yeah, people do anything for clout.
Right, so it ain't just a check. People out here acting the right fool just for likes. Shoot, we see there's a man in Barbados, right? The name, the blame, them lock up. The man post said that they saw, and I just tell myself, what word salads is this? No, what's they saying? What? What's this? Just to make himself
A grown-ass man.
A grown-ass man that he man just post it to get likes, follows, and comments and bigot himself. Like, what? Fake validation. False validation. Anyhow.
Yeah, and to Rian's point here, the challenge is to, because again, that was the other point I was making about men having to take responsibility for some of this, because women do stuff to attract male attention, right? But they conflate relationship attention and sexual attention. Here's the thing, guys. A man will hate most anything.
Anything. Not anything. Anything.
But believe you me, when that man wants to settle down, look for a wife in a long-term relationship,
ain't walking with anybody.
Man is getting real particular. So you gotta be a bit more particular in terms. Yeah, I know it look easy because the hot girls is who's get the attention. The hot girls ain't who getting married.
If you
The
go
hot girls
fishing,
ain't who find their long-lasting relationships.
if you go fishing with worms, you can catch a fish. If you go fishing with rocks,
then
you can catch a tire. I don't know what to tell you. So if you put out there that you twerking and got the long eyelashes and whatever you bad bitch, woman king could do all bad by yourself, and you attracting duds, it ain't any man fault, you fishing with dynamite. You killing the fish.
That will float up the top.
You know what I mean?
Us, this has been the Senate. Dr. Carey on, it's great to have you as always.
Amazing, always fun.
Yeah, always good conversation. It always tends to run past 10 o'clock when we have you on. Then
Bracking up my night rest.
Is always great. It's always great.
Go get my beauty sleep.
Again, I invite you to stay on and record some wellness after. Yeah, folks. We had another great discussion. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of it. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something from tonight's discussion. And as always, you can ignore reality all you want. Cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Neil, Dr. Carey, and myself, we do not make it the rules. We just make sure you know what they are. Be the best version of you for you. We can see you all guys again very soon. We got some shorts coming out tomorrow. Hopefully, Neil will be able to get hooked up and sorted in time for tomorrow.
I wonder which one you're dropping tomorrow.
No. For that special short, that's gonna be a week of shorts. I'm gonna break that up into. It's gonna be a continuation in the current series. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be an episodic short. So all the next week can be dedicated just to your love life.
God.
To getting you to understand that love is literally around the corner from you. In your backyard, as you say.
I want my fellow cabinet members to stand in solidarity with me.
Oh, no, people. We want Dr. Carey to be off the market now. So I want everybody, when you watch these shorts, I want you all to comment and like and say, here, chill, Dr. Carey, don't be foolish.
Correct.
Yo,
Please also remember though, Dr. Kerry, that yeah, so
no,
be
play
careful
it again,
these
God.
streets.
Tell the people.
Yeah,
Yes,
be careful of these
no
streets.
tutus about that.
No tutus. Folks, be good. It's been another edition of Senate. We can see you all later. Peace.